सद्गुरु श्री गजानन महाराज की जय. Namaskar. I am Atul Kokardekar. I feel blessed to present the English Pothi of Shri Gajanan Maharaj. With Maharaj's blessings, I hereby start. Sadguru Shri Gajanan Maharaj ki jai. Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. O beloved son of Vasudev and Devki, protector of the gop and gopis, inhalator of the demons, please bless me. I am aware that devotion and penance are required to gain your favor, but I am unable to offer these. Your praise are in Sanskrit, new to me. I cannot decipher those words. I am dumb. How can a frog get honey out of the lotus bulb? I am penniless and cannot obtain your favor by feeding a batch of the poor. I cannot visit shrines and holy places to acquire your kind grace because of my health and fading eyesight. I seem to be helpless and on all sides. It is clear that hopes and dreams of the poor were never fulfilled. Even then, your blessing fetched delight. I am aware you don't have to be rich to get it. When clouds pour down water, lakes and rivers get their fill in full. I look forward to the showers of happiness. A drop of nectar removes all sickness. In the last chapter, we talk of the family feud between the house of Patil and Deshmukh. Such unhealthy rivalry breeds tension. Tuberculosis of body and social friction spelled disaster, defeating efforts to ace the situation. The event here was triggered by a Maharaj's refusal to obey the order of Khanderao, the highest authority in Shigao. Maria Mahar, the mail carrier, stayed near the lake. He enjoyed a special privilege at Deshmukh's place. With taunts and uncouth, filthy words, he declined to execute Khanderao's work. He was warned to behave himself, more so as Khandu was head of the place. Maria discredited the admonition and teased Khandu with obscene gesticulations. The cause of this altercation was plain. Patil had some maid to send to Akola police station. He asked Maria to take it to the destination. Maria refused, saying, I am Deshmukh's man. I don't take orders from you, understand? He ridiculed Patil, inflating him a lot, resulting in a blow by a stick on his arm. That hard force had fractured his hand. Patil sent the mail with someone else. Relatives of Maria took him to Deshmukh place. This gave Deshmukh's chance to harass Patil. They took Maria to the police station in a bid to launch a complaint about the happening. All tensions in society are blown up the community to an enormity. A complaint was registered by the authority. Orders were issued to arrest Khanderao. The news spread like wildfire in Shigao. Patil developed a lot of fear and worried about the impending danger. He prayed to God Almighty to save him from arrest and indignity. For a man of his status, humiliation is worse than death. His brothers too looked worried and helpless. Then it suddenly occurred to Khandu Patil that he better see the Santa and seek his help, as no one else can save him from this mischief. His brother went to Akola to seek legal advice. Khandu Patil went straight to the sun at night. He bowed down to Maharaj and told the story. I thrashed him as he refused to do the government duty. Deshmukhs are using this event to put me in difficulty. They are trying to get me arrested. None else expect you can help me at this stage. Maybe the police will take me tomorrow. I would like to kill myself before I go. I am a man of dignity, and the insult of arrest is like death to me. I accept I was violent in that situation. but the whole thing is blown out of proportion. Please save me, O kind Sant, from this contempt. In the episode of Jayadratha in Mahabharata, Arjun was ready to burn himself for dignity. God saved him and protected his honor. God also saved the respect and honor of Draupadi by providing her saris at the right hour. My self-respect is being stripped here like Draupadi. Khandu's eyes were tearful when he begged for blessings. His brothers were worried over the arrest impending. Maharaj hugged Khandu Patil and said, "A man of responsibility has to face such a fate and has to be ready for it. Such things happen due to selfishness and sinful thoughts. You and Deshmukh belong to the same caste, yet selfishness has torn you apart." The enmity between Kaurav and Pandav in the epic of Mahabharata developed due to self-interest. Pandav were legally right, thus Almighty was on their side. Kaurav were defeated, so you don't have to be afraid. Deshmukh will ultimately fail. Eventually, Khandu was declared as not guilty. Blessing of sons cannot be deemed partly. Patil brothers got closer to the sun after this challenging occurrence. Who would not like a sip nectar, the heavenly life-giving exhalate? A few days later, Patil took the son to stay in their family. At their place came some Telangi Brahmins, orthodox, learned and well versed in Vedic prayers. In spite of this greed for money tinged their behavior, they had come with hope of getting some here. Maharaj was sleeping when they came in. They started to sing the Vedic hymns. The intention was to awaken the sun and attract his attention towards them. The recitation involved a mistake which the Brahmins did not correct. Maharaj was upset. He got up and said, "You are damaging the greatness of Vedic hymns. They are no tools of business. They have lessons to teach. Show some respect to your gear," which indicates that you are Vedic seers. Now I recite the words and you repeat. Don't misguide innocent believers. Saying so, he repeated the chapter with not a single mistake in the text. The pronunciation was clear in all respects. It appeared as if Sega Vasishtha himself was singing those powerful prayers to the ruler of all beings. The Brahmins felt ashamed and hung their faces. It was like holding a candle against the sun's radiant grace. The Brahmins had come with an impression that Sant Gajanan was a crazy someone, but found him to be a learned Gant, and were certain that 4 Vedas were in his person. They thought of the Sant as a God incarnate. He must be a Brahmin without attachment. Because of good deeds of previous birth, they are fortunate to have his darshan on earth. Sant told Khandu to give them a rupee each. They departed happily with his deed. Maharaj, like a true son, disliked too much of attachment to life and people of the town and decided to shift out on his own. He moved to the garden to the north of Shegao under the cool dark shade of a neem tree. There was a temple of Lord Shiva in the garden. Krishnaji, the youngest brother, owned this one. The son said to Krishnaji that he was there to stay in the vicinity of Lord Shiva Shankar. If this is a place he likes, it also is the place for me. Please get a tiny shed built here for me. Very soon it becomes place of pilgrimage. Town where king stayed becomes capital of the state. Bhaskar and Tukaram Kokate stay with the son to offer him routine care and comfort to a great extent. Krishnaji supervised the food preparation and took meals after Maharaj had done. About 20 ascetics once came to the garden. They had heard about Sant Shri Gajanan They told Krishnaji they were on pilgrimage to Rameshwar with holy waters of Gangas. We are disciples of Sri Brahmagiri, who is fortunately with us on this journey. We travel afoot to holy places like Gangotri, Kedar, Hinglaj, Girnar, Dakor, and Jamutri. God works as a slave in the Brahmagiri's house. Good deeds of your past have brought him here now. All we went in Shirapuri meals and few puffs of heroin. We will be here for 3 days and then go on our routine. Do not miss the chance of serving our class. Instead of that crazy man laying across, it is like kicking a cow and feeding a jackass. We are ascetics who have renounced the world. We are masters of Veda. Come, listen to our words. We will make Shirapuri tomorrow, said Krishnaji. Let it be just bhakri and besan today as a proxy. There is no problem about heroin puffs as I see. It was noontime. The lunch was over by the well. They sat in the shade with people as evening fell, facing Mahanta Brahmagiri and Shegav son. Brahmagiri read the Gita and convey the gist of a hymn, saying, the soul is eternal and no device can split it. Brahmagiri was a fraud with no spiritual attainments, and the people were not impressed by his sermons. They could see that he was playing with the words. People got up and went to the darshan of their son. We heard the philosophy. It was phony. We see the reality in you, they said. The ascetics who were now smoking heroin were irritated by this remark and great extent a spark from the pipe of sun fell on his cot and slowly spread. Smoke started coming out of the bed. In a little while, the whole cot was in flames. Bhaskar requested the son to leave the cot. He cautioned that it was a teakwood make and would require water for putting out the blaze. Said the son, don't get water to quench the fire. Let Brahmagiri come and sit with me here. Brahmagiri, you know Gita with its meaning. Now is the time for you to prove its sense. Prove that fire won't burn Brahma. You have given a discourse for the last hour. You shouldn't be scared for sitting with me here. Bhaskar, go and bring him here with due respect and make him sit here to prove the aspect. Bhaskar was a well-built man. With this order, he caught hold of Brahmagiri to bring him there. The sun did not shift a bit from the fire. In Bhagavad, Prahlad, son of Kayadu, was made to stand on burning fire. The sun reenacted the same scene in Krishna Patil's garden here. When Bhaskar caught hold of Brahmagiri, he prayed to Bhaskar, don't take me to the burning cot. I failed to recognize the authority of the master. Bhaskar dragged Brahmagiri to Maharaj, who said, prove the statement which says fire doesn't burn it. Brahmagiri got scared and replied, I became an ascetic for good food and an easy life. I fruitlessly tried to learn Gita verse and called you crazy without any remorse. I regret the misdemeanor and beg to be excused. People from Shegav beg of the sant to leave the burning cot for their sake. They were fractionally afraid of seeing him inflamed in the flames. Brahmagiri hung his face in shame. He had nothing to express to honor people's sentiment. The sun alighted from the burning bed. The cot then collapsed in a moment. People threw water to put out the blaze and save just a part of it. As an evidence of the event, Brahmagiri fell prostrate before Maharaj and purified himself from all his faults with waters of Gangas touching impurity, how can things remain dirty? At midnight, the Sant advised Brahmagiri, shun hypocrisy. A Sant has to forego worldly pleasures. One should be learned himself before preaching to others. Learning words without understanding them or preaching the spirit behind them is worthless. Understand the spirit behind what you learn. Machindra, Jalandhar, Gorak, Kahani, and Naneshwar all enjoyed great authority in all spheres. Sri Shankaracharya attained self-realization. Eknath, a family man, achieved salvation. Swami Samartha, a brahmachari, accomplished the goal. Remember these sagas and stop wandering for Shirapuri. It would be worthless waste of time for everybody. Brahmagiri quietly listened to his advice and left the place early morning with disciples. Next day, people gathered to see the burning cot. We hope this treatise will liberate the readers from the material attachments. Sadguru Shri Gajanan Maharaj ki Jai. This English pothi was translated by Shri Shankar Pandit. Please share this video so that maximum devotees can avail Maharaj's blessings.